Yo, what up? All right. We got another one from Bill Burr. Another one from Bill Burr. And this is 80s movies. 80s movies. Yeah. 80s movie it is way before my time, but there's some classic movies that I enjoy from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got like I don't think Star Wars is from the 70s, right? Like 77. But the Star Wars came out a couple like the last Star Wars came out in the 80s, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Star Wars and I'm not familiar with a lot of 80s movies. But I'm sure there are some like classics out there. You know what I'm saying? That if I saw them, I'd be familiar with them. But yeah, let's check out Bill Burr's take on 80s movies. Let's go.
25 years ago, Charlie won a ticket to the most magical place on earth.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Did you guys have that? It's probably people like you guys out there, or like me, I should say. There was a lot of that when I first started comedy. People like, you never saw Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? It's like, I didn't. We used to go to violent movies. It was funny. Like, my mother took us to fucking 2 kid movies, and she told me years later, she was like, yeah, we went to them. I just thought they were stupid. I know I've told this story before. We saw For the Love of Benji, which I imagine my mother watching it was like, for the love of God, kill that fucking dog and let's get out of here. And then there was... For
the Love of Benji.
For the Love of Benji. Oh, my God.
What is that?
I mean, could there be a more saccharine fucking movie out there? That's like, what really made, like, Bugs Bunny and Sesame Street, like, all of those, like, they knew how to entertain kids but also kept in mind that there were adults watching the kids or within earshot, and they made it entertaining for them. But then there's just people, they were just like, let's torture the adults and just make this 100% for the kids. And they made shit like For the Love of Benji, which was some sort of, it was like Home Alone with like a fucking beagle or something. I don't know what it was. It was I don't remember. I just can't imagine the poor people who had to shoot that fucking movie, trying to get that fucking dog to do whatever the hell it was supposed to do, And then we saw Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, which was basically Knight Rider in a Volkswagen. So Knight Rider was cool because it had David Hasselhoff
yeah.
with a cool. David Hasselhoff had a cool leather jacket in the 80s. Yeah, we saw those, and then the next movie we saw was some disco movie about a vampire. I can't remember. I just remember it ended with the vampire finally bit the chick on the neck, and she turned into a bat. And the final movie was, he was kind of like, yeah, sorry, I just brought you to eternal life of killing people. And her line was just like, I could never get my shit together by Tuesday anyways.
There is one small disadvantage. We can only live by night.
Oh, that's all right with me. I mean, I could never really get my shit together till 7 anyway.
And that's how the movie ended. And a lot of movies ended like that. It was fucking fantastic. I was telling you guys, I watched the ending of Hooper.
That's stupid.
Spoiler alert.
Hooper.
The guy he doesn't like apologizes to him and asks him to accept his apology. Bert turns around, looks right down the barrel of the camera, smiles at you as the audience member, and then punches the guy in the face and knocks him out. His friends all laugh. They all put their arms around each other, and they walk by the camera, and Bert looks right into the camera, gives the okay sign, and it freeze frames, and that's the end of the fucking movie. Now, I know that probably sounds like a shitty movie. I'm not going to lie to you, a lot of it didn't age well, but, like, you got to understand what movies were before that. Like, nobody was that, I guess that was irreverent. I don't know what it was. It was fucking amazing, though. When I watched it, I was like, that's how they ended it?
I'm also big enough to apologize. And I know you're big enough to accept. You're wrong.
And we are
Say you're
fucking
wrong.
ready. Can you guys, because I'm watching a lot of movies lately. I don't know why. Give me your like top 5 movies all time and then top 5 what the fuck endings. And it can even be like a what the fuck, like great ending. You know? Like when Sylvester Stallone in that movie where he had the beard and the guy's like sneaking in to kill that chick washing the dishes.
What?
And then he fucking turns, the chick turns around and it's Sylvester Stallone. With
What the hell?
Like, when Hulk Hogan's the bad guy, the black beard, he's got like a black beard close like that, but no yellow fucking Fu Manchu blonde. That was a great ending. I remember that. So anyway, we went from those movies. We saw
What
a
the
disco
hell?
movie. If anybody can find the name of that movie, it came out about 78, 79. It's when they were
Love
totally
at
like
First
basically
Bite.
exploiting disco for as much as they could. Then I think the next, what did we see? I used to know this. We saw Stripes. We saw Scarface. We saw Jaws. They brought Jaws
Scarface.
back to
Jaws.
theaters because
80s?
Jaws
Okay,
2 was
Jaws.
coming out. I know we saw that. We saw Sharky's Machine. We did see Raiders of the Lost Ark.
What is Sharky Machine? Indiana
but
Jones.
We didn't see
yeah.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
When did I finally see Star Wars? I think I saw Star Wars when Empire Strikes Back came. When that came out, then they brought back Star Wars. But I saw Empire first, and I liked that, and I saw Star Wars. And somewhere in that, when they're out there on the desert, I just I checked out. Yeah, so I think that's basically what we saw. Then I just started seeing all the Brat Pack movies as I became a teenager. Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. I haven't
Another
seen
one's
that.
Weird Science and all of that. Then I was just off to the races with
Weird
whatever the fuck I
Science.
wanted to watch. But when my parents took us to movies, we went to 2 kid movies, and then it was just all Al Pacino, Burt Reynolds, Bill Murray.
Burt
Just
Reynolds.
fucking insane shit that you probably shouldn't have seen at that age.
Gremlins. Is that Gremlins? What is that? Yeah, I'm not familiar with a lot of Burt Reynolds movies. I am not familiar with a lot of Burt Reynolds movies. He is before my time. He's before my time. That is pretty dope. They ended the movie like that. That's a pretty dope way to end it. Man. Yeah. Yeah, what do you say? Name movies that had like a surprise ending. What was that movie with Sylvester Stallone? What was the name of that movie? What the hell? Like, I don't think I would have been surprised. I would have busted out laughing. Like, how long was he in that outfit? Oh my goodness. Man. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I got, my top movies, they are not in the 80s. I don't have any but Indiana Jones, Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? He had a lot of movies in there that are classic. Jaws, Scarface. Yeah, he got all those movies are classics. Seen all them, except for I think he named Weird Science and maybe a couple Burt Reynolds movies that I haven't seen. But yeah, my top movies, if I had to name them, they wouldn't be from the 80s or it would be like Braveheart or He Got Game. Now, He Got Game is probably one of my one of my favorite movies. He Got Game, Braveheart, Pulp Fiction. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple other Tarantino movies too. I mean, shit, but those aren't 80s movies. But yeah, Bill Burr broke down the movies well. said he didn't see most of the '80s movies when they first came out, like Star Wars. He didn't see New Hope until after he saw Empire Strikes Back. So he saw them out of order. But I guess that's I don't think I saw the first Lord of the Rings until I saw the last. I saw the last Lord of the Rings first, or in the first trilogy of the Lord of the Rings. I saw the last Lord of the Rings first, and then I went back to go watch the other two. You know what I'm saying? That's how it worked for me. But I can see how that can happen. But yeah, '80s movies. Maybe I need to go check out some more, more classic '80s movies. Burt Reynolds. Check out some more Burt Reynolds. Maybe.